Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to episode 36 of Escambia Empires. As always, I'm joined by my brother and co-host Danny. How you doing, Danny?
Doing good. That's
Awesome.
me.
That's you. So we're actually, if you watch us on YouTube, which if you don't, you should go check us out on YouTube because we actually record a full video. Every episode is fully recorded in video and posted on YouTube. So go check us out on YouTube if you haven't before. But this is our first time recording an intro on YouTube.
On video.
Video. Yep. So we're excited about that. And we're excited about today's guest. For this episode, we have on Harry Stanley for the second time. Harry is the founder and owner of Spire Marketing. It's a digital design agency. And he's been doing it for about 8 months. So the first time we had him on the podcast, he was pretty much almost brand new into doing it full time. He had just quit his 9-to-5 and started doing it full time. And now, 8 months later, he just passed last month $20,000 in gross sales and gross volume.
Yeah.
For the month of February. $20K, that's a huge number after only 8 months of being in the business.
Yeah,
so
he's just growing leaps and bounds.
Yep.
It seems like, and you can really tell throughout this episode, it seems like he's a risk taker for sure. He's definitely somebody who, as he says in the episode, he hustles, he works hard, he experiments, and he's willing to do anything that it takes to grow. And he talks about what he's done as far as that goes, to be able to grow as far as social media and different ways to access clients and streamline his business.
Yeah, we talk about how he used to have one stream of leads or new clients, and now he's got 5. And so that's what's helped him scale as well. He's just got a mindset of scalability. He wants to take it and he keeps funneling all of his profits back into the business, which is a cool thing. So we talk about a lot of that different stuff and more. He's got a lot of insight, and he's just started doing coaching and different things like that. He's just he's involved in a lot of different things. So we hope you enjoy this episode. Harry Stanley for the second time, and here he is. Harry Stanley, welcome back to the podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me.
We're excited to have you again. You are only our second guest, I think, who has been invited on for a repeat episode.
First one wasn't good enough, so I wanted to redeem myself.
Well, that's not what I was going to say.
Yeah,
you said it,
yeah.
but since you said it, I mean, yeah, that's what it was.
And that's not a diss to our other guests either.
The reason that we've had you on is because the first time you were a guest on the podcast, you were not starting, but had just started.
It was kind of like,
you had just started doing your own thing, and now we are much further down the road.
Yes.
There's a bug flying in here. That's going to be super distracting.
He'll die.
Wow, okay.
Well, not for me, but well, actually maybe.
Yeah, hopefully not. Anyway, what I wanted to do is get you back on here and talk about the progress that you've made, some of the things that you've done and accomplished and implemented in that time, and we'll kind of take a deep dive into a little more of the technical aspect of it rather than just who you are and what your business does.
Yeah. So it's been quite the journey the last, it's been a little over 8 months now. Mm-hmm. So since it was like full time, right? It was a side hustle until July 17th. We closed on the house. July 24th, I quit my job and decided I would take Spire Marketing full time and turn nothing into something. So It was more of a gamble back then. Now it's a calculated risk.
Yeah.
So it's been upgraded to calculated risk. So
just moving up the tiers of
exactly. And then eventually it'll be an actual business. So
I would say if you are producing at the level that you're producing, you're a business, brother. You're a business. You know what? If you have a service, you're a business. Whether you're a good business or a productive
that's the thing though.
Not.
I don't want to be the business, right?
Fair
Being
enough.
the business is not a good place to be because you are limited by scaling and servicing your clients, the whole 9 yards. So owning a business,
you pretty much trade a job for another job too.
Exactly. Yeah. If you own the business and you run it, that's different than being the business. And that's been my goal this whole time, because can I design websites and logos and SEO and do all the stuff myself? I can. But can I grow a business substantially and do all of that myself?
Mm-hmm.
No. Somebody's got to bring on clients. Somebody's got to sign new clients. Somebody's got to negotiate, get contracts in, and then somebody else has to provide all the services, right? So doing everything yourself, it's not feasible. And that's what my approach was, because I did it myself as a side hustle. But I realized, I don't want to, can I do design? Am I good at design? I'm pretty good. But do I want to do it? No.
Yeah, your time is better spent doing something else
Yeah,
because you're better at other things anyway.
In 8 months, we grew from $0 a month, nothing. So, because I quit, nothing guaranteed. I had 0 clients lined up. I just knew I was going to make it work.
Yeah.
And in February, we hit 20K in new clients that we signed on. Not even, the recurring. So 20K in new revenue that we signed on in February. So that was pretty cool.
Big landmark.
That's a huge landmark, and that's a huge number,
Yeah, 8 months, 0 paid ads. We didn't spend money on advertising. It was really just a whole lot of cold outreach and referrals, and then just leveraging my personal network. That was basically just my personal professional network that I had, people that knew me, they trusted me, figured they'd give me a shot. It's working with Spire Marketing. So now that we actually have money, with starting this month, we are running paid ads, and we're running, what are we even doing? I have a sales automation company working on my LinkedIn account to line up appointments with my target market on my calendar. That's been nice.
I just listened to another podcast about that recently. I'm kind of interested to hear about that. You
Yeah.
said you just started?
Yes.
Okay.
Starting this month. And I also am working with a new sales team based out of Missouri that lines up my calendar with appointments as well. So it's really, I went from doing everything as far as the sales goes to just doing appointments and presentations and closing clients. So that has helped a lot, because now I'm not doing all I like to call all that stuff monkey labor, because it's like, if a monkey could do it, then why am I doing this, right?
Yeah.
Blasting cold emails to hundreds of people.
Yep.
Right? I mean, my time could be better spent actually doing things that are directly making me money. So
Yes.
hire somebody else to do the monkey labor. I mean, I did monkey labor for a year, so nothing against
You
people
have
that
to
do
put in
monkey
time
labor.
between
Somebody
that.
has to do it.
Somebody has to do it, yeah. And it's
Correct.
been me for quite a while. So
Yeah.
this is finally my upgrade. But
Well, and we've talked about that a lot we just had Jeremy Harris on the podcast, and he's like a coaching consultant.
Yeah.
You know who Jeremy Harris is, because you go to Bon Beans all the time.
Oh, yes.
But we talked a lot about having to wear different hats, and you wear all the hats whenever you first start out as a business owner. And then slowly but surely, you should be outsourcing in order to grow.
Yes.
And that's something that, I respect about you ever since the very beginning, working with Ethan Himka. You were outsourcing a lot of the design work to him. And so you can, from the very beginning, you had a outsource mindset and a scaling mentality.
Yeah. For sure.
So I really like that. And so now you said most of your time is just spent doing like the sales calls and appointments and things like that.
Yeah. So, I mean, the next phase, so I have designers on our team that I don't do any design. I just give direction now, because that's where I wanted to be, because if there's someone who likes doing design more than me and they're better at it than me, and they can help me scale my business way better, it's a win-win. Mm-hmm. So I don't do any design. I just give direction. If it looks ugly to me, it's probably going to look ugly to the client. So just,
I feel like sometimes designers can do something that's really technical and looks awesome, but it's like,
it
just doesn't look good.
Yeah. Like, you could spend 20 hours making this. It might be like up to designer standards, but if it's not up to my standards and the client standards, then
that's what
back
matters.
to the drawing board.
Correct.
Yeah. So the real world application of your design kind of is. So that, and then I've had an in-house sales team. It just was kind of tough. So I still have some of them that help with sales here and there, but I've just found using these more creative methods, it's just way more efficient for my time, because with the design company, I was a project manager. I'm a project manager, right? And then I'm also a sales team manager. So I manage the client projects. I manage the sales team as well, trying to motivate everybody and stuff. And I just don't have the time to do all of that, plus onboard new clients, do all these presentations, give direction on all the projects. It's just too much for one person to handle.
Yes.
So having a sales team now that actually just straight up calls, hey, this is Sam from Spire Marketing, blah, 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 right? With these business owners, that just makes my job so much easier, because I don't have to baby these guys. I mean, they're adults.
Yeah.
If they want to get paid, then they'll book appointments on my calendar.
That's the thing. So, I love that about commission jobs. If you're a self-starter or somebody like that, that's awesome. But the bottom line is, if you just want to get paid, you just have to make calls, or you just have to set appointments, or
it's
or
results
do
driven. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, you don't get paid for dinking around for 5 hours, right?
Yeah.
And so the nice thing about that is, number one, most people who aren't self-motivated aren't gonna do that or
No.
do it for long at least.
That'll weed out a lot of the lazy people.
Yeah. So the people working for you presumably are driven professionals who getting in front of clients. Those are going to be good people, talking to clients. So I just feel like that's a good thing to have someone else able to do those sales calls, but someone else that you trust and presents well.
Yeah.
Also.
And the key to scaling any business, and now it takes a lot of money to scale it. That's what I'm learning too. It takes a lot of money to scale, right? Because I could make, the 20K in new revenue we signed in February, if I wanted to do it all myself, I could do the work. I could have facilitated the work. I could have done it in like a month and a half probably, but it wouldn't let me scale if I were to do it myself. I could have done all of that myself and probably had like $18K in profit after my business expenses were paid.
Yeah.
But I would be doing all the work myself, and I would be the business, and I don't want to be the business.
Yeah.
So
that's not sustainable in the long term.
No. I've kind of like, I really don't think that. So right now, the sales team I'm using, it's not even my own sales team anymore, because I don't have the time to be a sales team manager with everything else that I'm doing. So I actually found a company that is doing it. They literally target marketing companies and doing their sales calls for the marketing company. So it was a win-win. I don't even know if I've never heard of any other company that does that for marketing companies, but somehow I found one. So, they found me actually, and with a cold call.
There it is.
And I
so
closed.
You know that they're effective.
I closed on a cold call.
Beautiful.
There it is. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's obviously been very beneficial for you.
Oh yeah. They've been lining up. I only started them like a week and a half ago, and they've been lining up. It's like 3 to 5 appointments a week on my calendar with business owners.
So if you don't mind me asking, how many, like, what's your closing ratio? If you get on a call with somebody, obviously not everyone's gonna want to work with you.
So it depends on the quality of the lead. If it's a good quality lead, my closing ratio is almost 50%.
Okay. 1 and 2, that's pretty good.
Yeah. If it's a good lead, if it's a quality lead and it's not just some like tire kicker, then it's like a 50% close rate.
Sure.
Like low, like high 40s. To be exact.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good.
So I have a good pitch and I'm good at closing. So
interesting. I feel like to outsource sales completely to a sales group or a sales company, do you feel like, so basically their only job is to book you appointments?
Yeah, their only job is to qualify and then book me appointments.
Okay, so they don't really need a whole lot of product knowledge or knowledge about your company specifically. Okay, that's what I was going to ask.
We're digital marketing, and we provide digital marketing services that help companies bring in more clients.
There it is.
Because if you don't have a website, or it's trash compared to your competitors, or people can't find you in Google,
you're going to get
the
finish line.
Exactly. And by even just doing a website that has good SEO, people will find you in Google, and you're going to get more customers. It's kind of like a given, so it's a general blanket statement that they can use.
Yeah.
And it applies.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, because I was going to ask how you, teach them to represent you specifically and your value add and things like that. But you don't have to
teach them anything.
Yeah.
Just see appointments on my
that's
calendar.
Nice.
Yes.
So it's completely hands off.
It's
as
pretty
close to hands off as you can be.
So.
That's really sharp. Okay. So then you get to just, conduct the appointments, and then you're working with the designers as just kind of, like you said, just input. If you feel like you have something that, or like direction from the client specifically.
I do all the client onboarding calls, right?
So I do feel like you know what they are looking for.
Because I want to make sure the quality control is there and that we're doing exactly what they're wanting and going above and beyond. So until I hire a manager that I trust to take over those roles, I think it'll just be me, which is fine. I'd rather be hands-on and make a bunch of money every month instead of be hands-off and people have a bad experience. So.
Correct. Yeah, because that's not going to keep that future business coming down the pipeline.
Yeah. And if I just scale it, I have friends that I know that make 50 plus K a month with their businesses, and they're different than mine, but the concept is still the same and the same principle. I've done coaching calls with them, and they told me exactly what they did to scale, and it kind of sucks, but at least what sucks is having to spend a ton of money to scale, because like what I'm finding out as I go, right? If I want to take on, get to 50 to 80K a month in revenue, what am I going to have to pay to get there? As far as like new advertising methods, my LinkedIn automation company that's helping me like connect with business owners, and so it's like I went from having like one main channel of getting clients to now I have like 5. I have 5 now. So Instagram, we changed our entire strategy on Instagram of how we're connecting with these business owners. Now we're engaging with them more. Before we hit them with the DM, like the pitch, and our response rate is way up. We're actually getting clients from our Instagram account now.
Wow.
So that was really nice. Plus, what's the new method? There's I'm working with a new advertising company to run Facebook and Instagram ads too. So that's something new we're doing. And it's all getting really expensive really fast.
Oh, sure it is.
Like I think my fixed costs are going to be like over $12,000 a month, which is kind of
That's crazy.
But I mean, it wasn't like that before the $20,000 a month in February. It's just now that I have the extra money,
Funnel it back into the business.
I've only paid myself $2,000 in the last 8 months.
Wow.
And it's not because I couldn't have. I just am choosing to invest back in my business because that's what helped us hit $20,000 in February. It's like the more that you give, then the more that your business can produce.
What's that delayed gratification?
Yeah. I mean, it's not fun.
Yeah.
But since my income was so low, I got a tax return. Hey, and we got stimulus check money.
There it is.
My personal expenses, I can continue to fund my personal expenses for like another 3 to 4 months off of the stimulus check and then the tax return money. So then I can just keep on funneling all the profits back into my business, because I think if I could do 0 to 20 in 8 months with 0 paid ads, now that I'm actually having, instead of one source of getting clients, now I have like 5. I mean,
I feel like it's the same thing in general. We've talked with business owners, and like getting from nothing to your first million is, I've heard from so many people, so much more difficult than getting from 1 to 2 or from 1 to 5 or vice versa. Or like for us, my first year I did 18 transactions 21 closed deals. And I think that was like 2.7 million. Well, last year we did almost 5, and I really didn't do a whole lot different. And this year it's looking like we may even double that volume. And it's just so much harder to get off the ground from nothing than it is to scale from where you are.
Yeah, because once you know the secret formula,
you just know what to do.
You just apply the secret formula. Yeah. So that's what I'm learning is the secret formula. So
interesting. We're going to title this episode "The Secret Formula" with Harry Stanley.
Yeah, Harry's secret. I mean, I won't tell him everything.
Yeah, for sure. Well, they need your services
because they need the formula. You want the formula? Go to @HarryStanley3 on Instagram.
There you go.
Book a coaching call to learn the formula for scaling your marketing and design agency.
There it is. I mean, so I'm curious though. You said you have switched your pitch on Instagram and have started connecting with people more before you actually, who's handling that? Is there someone specifically who's in charge of that, or are you outsourcing? You're working on that?
Yeah. So, well, which part? For the Spire marketing part?
Yes.
I rebranded. I changed my content strategy. Okay. So here's what I'm doing too, right? I'm doing these I find other experts in my industry, in my field, someone who's an expert at social media, like a guy who grew from 0 to 130K in the last 10 months or whatever, has really good engagement. I learned from him about growing social media. But then I also did a call with, I'm just finding that the more experts that I talk to and I learn from, then it's like they're telling me parts of their secret formula, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm kind of adapting it to work for my business. But, and to answer your question, I would say, so I don't want to undermine anyone who does it, but I don't do all the DMs and stuff. I have my stuff I focus on. I try to keep everything that I do to be high level. Okay, what's going to make a huge difference on getting the effectiveness of growing the business? That's my goal. My goal is scaling the business. I want it to be profitable, but I try to, if it's easy stuff, you just like these photos, follow these people and blast them all DM. I mean, that's easy stuff, right? Anybody can do that. So I don't do that part. I just come up with a strategy for it, right?
Okay.
What's the most effective way to get these business owners engaged and respond to the DMs, So I'll just tell you. So what we've been doing is we like 3 of their photos, we follow them, and then we DM them with the pitch, and then we'll go through their stories and their feed, our feed of these business owners that we follow. Yeah. We'll engage with them. And then we'll either comment on their photos or we will comment, reply to their stories, and they like that. So then they'll respond and say, "Oh yeah, sorry I didn't respond to your other message about the website stuff."
Yeah. Hey, well, it proves to them that you're not just a bot.
Exactly.
I feel a lot of times there's those follow bots that, and you just know it's a fake profile or whatever.
Yeah, and we used to blast the DMs, and our response rate was garbage. Yeah. But in a week since we've been doing this, we have 3 leads and 2 clients from it, just because in 1 week of us just slightly changing how we were DMing people.
I love that type of like A/B testing or just making little
Oh,
tweaks.
yeah. We've been doing this for like 4 months.
Yeah. Man, that's
Wait.
cool.
3
Okay.
nonstop of just like blasting DMs or whatever,
Yeah.
right? And it, like 0 clients. We had 0 clients from Instagram just from blasting DMs. So
just making that little
Refinement.
effective tweak.
yeah. And then once they follow my account back, Spire Marketing, then they see the content we produce, right?
Yeah,
How to tell if
exactly.
it's time for, a website for your business, or how to time if you need a logo redesign or whatever. You
Yeah.
know? So it's kind of like we drip them with this other content that kind of gets them thinking, I don't know, is it time for a website for my business or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
So
And I feel like you're providing a lot of value in addition to that. I mean, I follow
Oh,
your
yeah,
pages,
yeah.
and a lot of it is just general business knowledge, like the kind of
I changed
profile.
it.
Oh,
So,
really?
yeah. So Harry Stanley 3, that is a whole nother
There,
animal.
okay. Well, that's
Okay.
that's I think the one that I'm talking about
Okay.
more.
Yeah, I changed that one.
Okay, and I love, but to be honest, that's personal branding as well. And I feel like if somebody really connects with Spire, maybe you could also convert them over to Harry Stanley 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, I just feel like it's just a valuable content. And I guess I am talking about Harry Stanley 3.
Yeah.
But that's still, I think that's a really just a cool strategy. And
Yeah,
effective
so
way to do it.
monetization, right? So I'm like learning a ton about all the social media stuff. I did a social media call. You should just like check this guy out on your phone real quick. His username on Instagram is, I'll just tell you once you get it pulled up. It's or just type in Paul, Paul.
If you're listening, do this with us.
Yeah, do this.
Is it Paul Getter?
Yes, I did.
Whoa.
I did a call with Paul Getter. It's just kind of a funny coincidence how we met. I know some social media strategies. He just wanted to learn some. He's a millionaire. He makes tons of money, but he wanted to buy something that I was selling. Oddly enough, and he found me on just a freelance website. I was selling the strategy.
Interesting.
And he booked it, and then we did like a hour-long call, and he did first 20 minutes I showed him how to do the strategy. The other 40 he did coaching with me one-on-one, showing me what he recommends I do to scale Spire Marketing. So this guy's like the guy who does all the social media marketing for like Gary Vee and Grant Cardone, all the other like bigwig entrepreneurs. So
Yep.
it was pretty. I was expecting like who the person I was meeting in the Zoom call to be like just some random guy. I was like, all right, this is probably some sketchy person.
Yep.
But then he shows up and he's got like an Iron Man statue behind him and like the Infinity Gauntlet lit up and all this stuff where I was like, dude, all right, well, you like one of the Avengers or? And he said, no, look me up on Instagram. You know, it's like some famous guy. So that was pretty cool. But me meeting with all these like people that are experts in what they do, they're like teaching me what they do to become experts. So I'm learning stuff that they're doing. And if you do follow, my engagement is really crappy on at Harry Stanley 3 right now because I changed my content strategy like 2 weeks ago from what Mikey was saying about how more general business knowledge to now my personal brand is all about teaching and coaching people how to start and scale a marketing and design agency, like what I've done.
Yeah.
And because my entire goal of this is to monetize my success.
Yeah.
So I'm like 24. I built a business that generates over 20K. I mean, we're more and more, but 20K at the moment in revenue a month. So
That's something that people want to learn about.
exactly. Yeah. Everybody, everybody
that
wants out of the
story.
rat race, and it's an ungodly amount of work. I mean, don't get me wrong, but having someone that has done it that you can trust and learn from their mistakes and what works for them. I mean, that's, if I had a coach that I could have gone to whenever I started, hey, Harry, this will save you like hundreds of hours of time and mistakes and you getting angry. Just do these things, so
Yep.
that would have made a big difference. So,
Yeah.
but anyways, the last like week I've made over $750 just from doing some coaching calls with people. So it's kind of like monetizing on your success and your personal
Yes.
brand. Yeah.
That's super interesting.
So-
I love that approach of kind of approaching it and taking different ways and making even more money.
Exactly. It's kind of funny.
But
I
the bottom
mean,
line is you're providing value.
exactly.
Because
I'm giving way more.
Exactly.
I'm giving way more and I'm getting way more.
Yep.
So
You've achieved and accomplished something that every entrepreneur wants to do.
Yeah.
And so therefore you have valuable experience that people are willing to pay for. And
Yeah.
that's what coaching
Everybody
is,
wins.
You know?
And I've only done calls with 2 people, but the first call, it was good. That guy's like still a 9-to-5er, but then the other guy, he liked the first call so much he booked a second call. He liked the second call so much he booked a third call, and it's $200 an hour. So
Oh,
it was
wow.
like it was just
Whoa.
like it was pretty funny though. I saw him pop up on my my PayPal saying this person just paid you, and then I was like, all right, I think he like double paid me or something. But then he actually booked
He's
another
like, hey,
call.
I want to know. He just likes you, man. He
It
just
was-
wants to talk to you.
It was pretty funny though, and I got video testimonials for all three of the calls. Yeah, so
That's a good idea.
That's
It's
yeah,
great.
yeah.
That's something that we've talked about doing, but we haven't actually implemented yet. And I think video testimonials are super helpful.
all day,
Very personable
And so do you have those on your main
I
website?
have they're on Harry Stanley 3's Instagram. Just they're on the highlights.
Yeah.
testimonials,
I've seen those.
And another thing I'm doing, I'm not a guru. Don't get me wrong, but I do believe in monetizing your success if possible. So I am actually working on a course right now to teach people how to build and scale their marketing and design agencies, just like what I've done. So I do coaching calls, but once I have my course up, then I can run ads, and as long as my ads are, decent at converting, people that view them into clients, then I can scale this course basically to the moon. That's the plan, because it's all on autopilot, right? Once I record it and I create all the PDFs and the materials and stuff,
Yeah.
I don't even have, and I'm gonna have upsells in there where they can do coaching calls, but it'll be $350 for a 1 hour coaching call if they have questions after they're done with the course. So it's kind of just a new little venture. Me just looking for another way to monetize, and I don't know. It's tons of fun. I love doing this stuff. So,
Yeah.
Because you got Spire Marketing. Okay, well, I got so good at Spire Marketing. Why don't I just teach other people how to do what I do?
Yeah.
And my engagement rate is super low. Like, literally, I went from getting like 280 likes on my photos to like 50. But those 50 are the people who are trying to buy stuff from me. So it's kind of funny. It's
Then who cares? I mean, that's the point.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's the
I'd
point of
rather get
social media is-
$750 and have 50 likes instead of 300 likes and no money for it.
300
So
making you feel good, but you're not getting any money from it.
No. So that was kind of funny to see. I changed the content strategy around. My engagement dropped like a ton, but then people are paying me money, so it's kind of a
Give and
That's
take.
a trade-off that I think anybody would take.
Yeah, I'll take that trade off
Yeah.
for sure.
Interesting. So at what point did you decide then? Was it after? I feel like that 20K mark is kind of like, all right, this is a nice round number. I can start to teach people how to do this. Is that kind of when that clicked there?
Yeah, I think it was just adding up my numbers. I was like, all right, I'm 24. If I know how to do this, there's people that are like 60 that don't even know how to do this in their entire life. So, I mean, and I know what it took to get here. It wasn't, actually it was fun, but it was extremely risky. I mean, I got a wife and a kid,
And I feel like that risk is what a lot of people are not ready to take.
No. Yeah.
Most people.
Yeah, you got to be a special kind of person to
Special kind of crazy.
Yeah, with that amount of commitment and responsibility just to jump ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. But you have to have a vision though. I think that's what it's about is you have to realize what's possible and actually believe that it is possible. And because I feel like if you truly believe that you could accomplish what people say you can accomplish with hard work, which anybody who's successful will just say, hey, do these things and it'll work out for you. But I feel like if you truly believed it, then you would act on it. The same is true in I feel like in spiritual life. If you really believe something, then that's going to affect your action,
Yeah. And you can't be lazy. That's another thing. I mean, I burned myself out the last 2 weeks, but I mean, I would work the last 2 weeks. I've been pulling like 16 plus hour days because I mean, this is all really exciting stuff. I mean, I turn my personal account that wasn't really making any money. I mean, I don't even know. I'm just doing so many cool things, like learning how to grow the followers for my target market from like 1,065. And February 25th, I had 1,065 followers on Instagram, which is like 1 month and one-ish week ago. Okay, almost 2 weeks ago. A month and a half. A little under a month and a half. Okay. 1,065 followers. Now I have 7,774.
Oh, that's a big jump.
Yeah.
So you do some conversations with Paul for 5K. He didn't charge me 5K, but he usually charges 6K for a 1 hour call, he said. So,
wow.
But either way, I got some extra value in there. But you learn from the people at the top. I mean, then you just do it, do what methods work for them and what you learn from their successes, right? That's what I've been learning is like today, I paid another guy $300 for a 1 hour call. Usually I'm the one trying to book these calls, right? For $200 or $300.
Yeah, but also you realize that there's value in learning from someone else for $300, their entire experience.
Oh yeah, the guy just told me literally whatever I had questions about. All right, what's the best method for you for getting clients? What's this? What's that? What's that? We have different business goals, but I can at least learn from what he's done to
100%.
scale. So
yeah,
and I think also it just vouches for your perspective on the coaching aspect as well. There's a lot of people that probably wouldn't pay for coaching yet they're offering coaching services.
No, if someone can teach you that stuff,
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't. It's kind of like, it kind of sucks because this all just goes back to putting money in your business, right?
Yeah.
Because if I can save myself thousands of dollars or make myself tens of thousands of more dollars just by listening to somebody for $300.
That's right.
And I think today I did get that value. So
yeah,
I'm changing my strategy around with my business quite a bit. Yeah. So
I feel like you're just going to be constantly correcting,
exactly.
But that's the exciting thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
That's one reason we wanted to have you back on. So
Yeah.
we'll have you back on in the future,
exactly,
and gauge where we're at then.
100%.
Yes.
We'll do. We told Ethan we'll have him on every 20 episodes.
20 episodes. That was kind of a joke, but we'll see.
Yeah,
I mean,
we'll see.
Growing leaps and bounds.
Yeah,
so.
and that's the exciting thing is, you started several months ago.
8, a little over 8.
Yeah, and around the same time, Ethan had been doing it before then, but hadn't really been working on scaling himself either.
Yeah, same thing, part time.
And we were just talking today, and he's like, I just signed another client, and he's doing really, really well. So it's cool for us.
Sign?
What's that?
Who'd he sign?
He didn't tell me.
Oh, okay.
It's funny because he knows he knows all of my transactions by name. He knows my clients and stuff because I tell him stories all the time, but I don't know. He just tells me like, yeah, this is what I did, or he'll show me his logos all the time. But, so yeah, I don't know who it exactly was, but it's just cool to see you guys having started close to around the same time, ish, and, really just skyrocketing. And I feel like the sky's the limit from here. You've gotten
absolutely.
from nothing to where you are here, and then it's gonna compound.
0 to 20K with no paid ads or anything other than just hustling. And now that I'm gonna be doing all of the other things, I mean, I feel like before I'm 25, I feel like I'll have learned and made over $1 million through my business. So that's
when you turn 25.
That's a good landmark.
Actually, you're right. That's a good. Okay, 26.
Oh,
I turned 25 in September.
Well, we'll make it.
Well, that's like 6 months.
Hey, man, I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know. That's a tall order.
That's but tall orders
order.
are the only ones that matter, dude.
That's exactly 6 months. You can do this
in 6 months. All right. Hey, we're going to have you back on the podcast in 6 months.
6 months. There we go.
You're going to leave, and I'm going to send you a text and say, hey, Tuesday, September, whatever it is, right before your 25th birthday. We're going to hold you accountable.
Okay,
we're going to see how it
sounds
goes.
good enough.
And if you don't hit $1 million, we'll just forget about this.
Well, unless it's like, okay, but what if I hit 500K in 6 months?
That's the thing.
Reasonable.
That's the whole thing
way.
about that's why I love 10X by Grant Cardone.
Yep.
He talks about, okay, set your goals super high and work to achieve those high goals. And if you fall short of those high goals, you're still way further than you would have been otherwise. And I love that mentality. I think it's super
beneficial.
So no matter, as long as you continue to grow over the 6 months, we'll have you back on and we'll dissect your business again. Let me ask, what are you most excited about right now? What's that one thing that you're doing inside the business that you're like, all right, this gets me fired up?
I mean, all of it at this point. I mean,
listen, I hear
it's
ya.
all big, like monetizing my personal brand. I just think that's super cool because you take your success and you teach other people how to have your success. And I'm like, there's all those fake gurus out there and all that crap. But I'm in the trenches. I mean, I know what it takes to, I'm not like, I don't have some Lambo. I'm literally like I'm a family guy. I'm a dad. I don't waste my money on crap. It all just dumps right back into my business. But I know what it takes to scale a business to this level, and I know what it's going to take me to get to the next level. But that is getting me. That was like one of the biggest things I've been working on the last 2 weeks. I've been doing 16-hour days because that's just been tons of fun. But then my business strategy. I mean, just doing like 5 new ways to get clients instead of just one.
Yeah.
I mean, 5 that I know work, and I'm seeing results from all of them now. That also just gets me fired up.
Yeah, man. Yep. Instead of just one, having I mean,
super and all it takes is one of those to be a home run.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those, and it'll be 10 times better than what I've been doing before to get to 20K. So
the odds just increasing.
I love it, man. I love it. I love having conversations like this because I get fired up.
Oh
man, I'm excited
no risk,
for you.
No reward. That's
Correct.
how it works.
Yeah.
You risk big, then you have potential for big reward.
But the more success you see, the more you can kind of step out, and there's
Exactly.
always risk inherent with owning a business, but
Yep.
you're able to mitigate that just a little bit, and that's exciting.
It goes from a gamble to a calculated risk,
There it is,
right?
just like you said
Tying
in the
that
beginning.
in from the beginning. So
Yeah,
we'll end
coming
it.
full circle.
It's full circle.
I love that. That's
Love it.
awesome. All right, well, we'll link up to your socials in the description. Harry Stanley 3.
Yes.
And then Spire Marketing.
Yeah, Spire _ marketing.
Spire
You'll
_
see it. They're on each of their profiles, so
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good, man. I love it. Well, I appreciate you coming back on.
Absolutely.
As
Thank you for
always,
having me.
It is a pleasure, Harry. Love you, man.
Yes, hey, right back at you. And I love the studio.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And
this-
Danny. Love you too, Danny.
I'm just here for the supportive role to bring up
Yeah.
like
Emotional support.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, correct. That's pretty much. He's just my security blanket. I love taking him to. We went to PYP. You were there at that PYP.
Oh,
meeting.
yes, I was there.
I was like, I love being here with Danny and JoJo, and you and Ethan had gone with me. I was like, it's nice to go and not be the like and know people when I go.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
I feel like that supportive role is where I thrive. So I'm happy to be here. Thanks for
Hey.
pointing me out.
Thanks for being here.
yeah. I love it. All right. Thanks, man.
All right.
We'll talk to you
Thanks
soon.
for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next episode
That's right.
of Escambia Empires.
Escambia Empires.
All right, so that was our episode with Harry Stanley of Spire Marketing, and we hope you enjoyed listening to him for the second time. It's always fun to bring people on and see where they're at versus where they were when we first had them on the show.
That's
I
right.
really enjoy that.
Yeah. I hope you enjoyed it as well. And if you haven't already listened to his first episode, go back and check that out.
Yep.
I know we kind of always plug our previous episodes, but especially I think he's episode 11 was his first episode with us 25 episodes ago.
Yeah.
So please go check that out. You'll kind of get his backstory that we didn't really cover in this episode.
Yeah, a little more history about
that's
the
right.
business.
Yeah, you'll understand more about what he is and what he does. So
really, I love Harry. I love the guy. He's fun to talk to in real life.
Yeah.
We always enjoy doing stuff with him.
he's somebody to know. So connect with him
yeah.
on social media.
Yeah,
Follow his
100%.
journey.
Yep, we'll send everybody over there. And once again, we just appreciate you for joining us and hope you enjoyed the episode. And we'll see you again for next week.